Good morning. Actually, it's afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I just happened to flip through the Bible today because I didn't know what to read. So I landed on Job chapter 1. And I actually normally like to skip Job because his books are sad. And I'm not a sad person. And so I'm not drawn to those types of things to read in the Bible. I tend to skip over those. But God showed me today that I don't need to be skipping. I don't need to be skipping them. So in Job chapter 1, he was a very wealthy man. And he feared God, and he turned away from evil. And God was very pleased with him. He was a very faithful, God-fearing man. And he had 7 children. And if you don't know, 7 is like a significant number in the Bible. It means completeness. And he had 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 oxen, 500 female donkeys, a very large number of servants. And he was the greatest man among all the people of the East. So he was very wealthy, but he chose to follow God. Well, Satan tries to test Job. So the divine council met with the Lord, and Satan was with them. And Satan pretty much says, well, the only reason that he's following you is because he has everything. He has nothing to lose, but as soon as you take it all away from him, then he will curse you. He don't want to follow you because you've blessed him, you've given him everything that he could have wanted, so take it all away from him. So God said, okay, Satan, take it all away from him, and we will see. And so I guess the verse that stood out to me most was the last verse of the Bible. Sorry, look at this. Here's my little nugget. And say, hey, Hudson.
Hey.
Okay, so God took everything away from him. When I mean everything, I mean everything. He even took his children away from him. They were blown away. Let's see what it says. A powerful wind swept in from the desert and struck the 4 corners of the house, and it collapsed on the young people, so they died. So there's lots of messengers that come and tell you what happened to everything that he owns, pretty much, that got taken away from him. But what stood out to me was verse 20 and 21. It says, then Job stood up, tore his robe, and chafed his head. He fell to the ground and worshipped. So tearing your robe and shaving your head, those are signs of mourning. But instead of like going out for prayer or asking God, like, why did you do these things, or going to mourning, he worshipped. He says, naked I come before my mother's womb, and naked I will leave this life. The Lord gives and the Lord takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. So instead of him mourning, he was worshiping God. The complete opposite of what normal people do when they lose things. We're like, why me? Why did this happen to me? Me too, right? See, this is something that I'm supposed to be reading, but I tend to jump over these top things. But, so, and I also think in the first part, it tells about how Job looks after his children, like he makes sure and purifies them and makes them have burnt offerings and stuff before the Lord, because he wants them also to be pleasing to the Lord as well. He doesn't want them to fall from the Lord. And I thought that stood out to me as being a leader, a father to his family. And also, instead of mourning, he worshipped. And I think that that's something that we all need to take into consideration when we're going through hard times in life, is to worship our Creator.